competitive energy.
Competitiveness.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him.
Okay,
like that.
damn. All right, I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
All right.
However, I can reshape it into a neutral media analysis style breakdown that focuses on public reactions, legal strategy, and the power dynamics at play, without presenting rumors as facts. Here's a rewritten version in that direction. When a high-profile allegation collapses, most celebrities aim to move on quietly. But in this case, the legal battle escalated instead of fading. After a recording surfaced in which the accuser reportedly stated that Jay-Z didn't do anything, his legal team responded with a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit. According to court filings, the claim argues that false accusations caused significant reputational and financial harm to his company, Roc Nation. Rather than closing the chapter, the lawsuit reopened the conversation. The situation intensified when 50 Cent shared, and quickly deleted, an AI-generated video depicting Jay-Z in handcuffs. Even though it was removed, the clip spread rapidly across social platforms, fueling online speculation. What might once have been dismissed as trolling quickly became part of a larger public narrative. Meanwhile, attorney Tony Busby, known for representing clients in high-profile cases involving Diddy, publicly disputed elements of the emerging story. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, maintained that the
Don't trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
recording speaks for itself, reinforcing the legal strategy of confronting the matter directly rather than ignoring it. Outside the courtroom, observers began asking broader questions. Jay-Z's partnership with the National Football League, which includes oversight of the Super Bowl halftime show, has been one of the defining business moves of his later career. While there has been no official indication of change, speculation about brand risk inevitably follows any controversy tied to major corporate partnerships. At the same time, online commentary expanded to include references to past industry connections and even newly unsealed files related to Jeffrey Epstein, though no charges or forma.
What happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right?
The larger story may be less about one allegation and more about how modern celebrity power works. Social media can amplify claims within minutes. AI-generated content blurs satire and misinformation. Legal teams fight in court while reputations are debated in comment sections. And in the background, figures like Beyoncé and Solange remain publicly silent. A reminder that in high-stakes situations, silence itself becomes part of the narrative. Whether this ends as a legal footnote or evolves into something larger may depend less on viral posts and more on what happens in courtrooms and boardrooms in the months ahead. For now, the story highlights a familiar tension in entertainment. When reputation, business empires, and public perception collide, the battle is rarely confined to a single lawsuit. If you'd like, I can also turn this into a YouTube-ready script with stronger hooks, but legally safer framing. Condense it into a short-form viral narration, or rewrite it as a fictionalized drama inspired by industry power struggles. Here's a more expanded, dramatic but legally neutral version that keeps the tension while avoiding unverified claims. When the recording surfaced, many assumed the storm was over. In the audio, the accuser reportedly told investigators that Jay-Z didn't do anything. For most public figures, that might have been the end of it, a quiet fade into the next news cycle. Instead, it marked the beginning of something bigger. Within days, Jay-Z's legal team filed a $20 million defamation lawsuit, arguing the allegations caused measurable damage to his business empire, including contracts tied to Roc Nation. The strategy was clear: move the fight from public speculation to a courtroom. But in 2026, courtrooms aren't the only battleground. Enter 50 Cent.
They don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brand. That's why a lot of those rappers...
A now deleted AI-generated clip showing Jay-Z in handcuffs spread across social media before it could be contained. Even though it was meant as commentary, possibly satire, it ignited millions of views, reactions, and reposts. In the age of artificial media, perception moves faster than facts. Meanwhile, attorney Tony Busby, who has represented clients in high-profile cases involving Diddy, publicly challenged aspects of the narrative. On the other side, Jay-Z's attorney Alex Spiro emphasized that the recording speaks for itself, reinforcing the defamation claim. What makes this moment different isn't just the allegation, it's the timing. Jay-Z's business relationship with the National Football League, particularly involving the Super Bowl halftime show, represents one of the most powerful partnerships between hip-hop and corporate America. Any controversy, even unproven, invites questions about brand risk. No official changes have been announced, but speculation alone can shift perception. Then there's the digital wildfire effect. Online conversations quickly expanded beyond the original case, referencing past industry associations and even newly unsealed documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. There are no formal charges or findings linking Jay-Z to wrongdoing in that context. Yet in today's media ecosystem, association often trends before clarification. The bigger issue may not be legal at all. It's narrative control. For decades, Jay-Z has built an image of strategic silence and calculated moves, transforming controversies into comebacks, critics into collaborators. But now, the narrative is decentralized. It's not being shaped by press releases. It's being shaped by viral clips, live stream reactions, and algorithm-driven outrage. And hovering in the background are two powerful figures, Beyoncé and Solange. Neither has spoken publicly about the current controversy, but silence in moments like this isn't empty. It's interpreted, analyzed, dissected. This situation.
We haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic,
The real battle may not be about one recording or one deleted post. It may be about whether traditional influence, lawyers, corporate partnerships, strategic PR, can still outmaneuver decentralized digital narratives. For now, there are no new criminal findings, no confirmed business terminations, no official shifts in partnership status, just lawsuits, viral clips, silence from key figures, and a media cycle that refuses to move on. And in modern celebrity culture, sometimes that's the most dangerous place to be, stuck between accusation and absolution, with the internet deciding which story wins. If you'd like, I can now. Here's an even more expanded, cinematic, documentary-style version, still neutral and legally framed, but with deeper tension and narrative build. The recording was supposed to end it. In the clip, the accuser reportedly told investigators that Jay-Z didn't do anything. In another era, that might have closed the file and cooled the headlines. But instead of fading out, the story accelerated. Within days, a $20 million defamation lawsuit was filed. The claim argued that false allegations damaged not only Jay-Z's reputation, but also the business interests tied to Roc Nation, a company that operates at the intersection of music, sports, and corporate America. To some observers, it looked like a confident counterstrike. To others, it looked like escalation. Because in today's media landscape, lawsuits don't silence narratives, they amplify them. Then came the social media spark.
There's a lot of people, 50, I feel like you don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh shit, 50's coming.
50 Cent posted an AI-generated video showing Jay-Z in handcuffs. The caption suggested hesitation. I want to post this, but before it spread across platforms. Even after deletion, the clip lived on through reposts, commentary channels, and reaction streams. This wasn't just trolling. It was symbolic. AI content blurs satire and suggestion. A fake arrest image doesn't need to be real to influence perception. And once perception shifts, it's nearly impossible to rewind. Meanwhile, attorney Tony Busby, known for representing clients in cases involving Diddy, challenged aspects of the developing narrative. On the other side, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro publicly emphasized that the recording speaks for itself. One viral battleground, but the real pressure point may be corporate. Jay-Z's partnership with the National Football League, particularly his involvement in shaping the Super Bowl halftime show, is one of the most visible symbols of hip-hop's integration into institutional power. The deal represents more than entertainment. It represents legitimacy. No official action has been announced. No contract changes have been confirmed. Yet in high-level corporate environments, risk assessment happens quietly, long before headlines confirm it. And then there's the digital echo chamber. Online forums and commentators quickly expanded the conversation to include historical industry relationships and references to newly unsealed files related to Jeffrey Epstein. While there are no criminal charges or formal findings linking Jay-Z to wrongdoing in that context, the mere appearance of a name in any public document can reignite scrutiny in the algorithm era. 2026. Mention often travels further than evidence. At the center of it all is something bigger than one allegation: narrative control. For decades, Jay-Z's career has been built on strategic timing. He rarely reacts emotionally. He responds surgically. Albums have doubled as statements. Silence has often been the loudest.
How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
But this time, silence competes with viral AI clips. Legal filings compete with live-stream commentary. Press statements compete with algorithm-driven outrage. And hovering in the background are two figures whose silence carries weight. Beyoncé, a global brand unto herself. Solange, long associated with one of pop culture's most dissected moments. Neither has publicly addressed the current situation, but in high-profile crises, silence is rarely interpreted as neutrality. It becomes part of the storyline. What makes this moment volatile isn't confirmed findings. It isn't courtroom verdicts. It isn't corporate announcements. It's uncertainty. A lawsuit still unfolding. A social media rival hinting at a documentary. A major sports partnership under public scrutiny. An online ecosystem that refuses to move on. In the past, influence flowed from top to bottom, from press conferences to headlines to public opinion. Now it flows sideways. The question isn't whether the case collapsed, it's whether the narrative did. Because in modern celebrity culture, reputational damage doesn't require conviction, it requires momentum. And right now, momentum is unpredictable. Is this a temporary storm fueled by virality, or a structural shift in how power figures are scrutinized in the AI era? One thing is certain, this is no longer just about a recording. It's about whether traditional influence, legal teams, corporate partnerships, strategic silence, can still outpace a decentralized digital narrative machine. The courtrooms will move at their pace, the internet will move at its own, and somewhere between the two is the story that'll ultimately stick.
I think you gotta be a little crazy to be successful.
Right.
And that's what 50 is. 50's really crazy. He'll say I'm crazy, but he's crazy.
Right.
Here's an even deeper, high-retention, documentary-style expansion, structured like a premium long-form YouTube exposé, but still legally careful and grounded in what's publicly stated rather than speculation. The recording changed the temperature, but it didn't cool the fire. When audio surfaced in which the accuser reportedly told investigators that Jay-Z didn't do anything, many assumed the story would quietly disappear. In most high-profile cases, that kind of development resets the narrative. Instead, it escalated. Jay-Z's legal team filed a $20 million defamation lawsuit, arguing the allegations caused significant harm to business operations tied to Roc Nation. The message appeared straightforward. If claims damage the brand, the response will be financial and forceful. But here's the complication. Legal victories and narrative victories are not the same thing. Because while attorneys were drafting motions, the internet was drafting memes. The social media factor when 50 Cent posted, and quickly deleted, an AI-generated image suggesting legal trouble for Jay-Z, it didn't stay deleted, it multiplied. That's the modern paradox of reputation management. AI content adds another layer. Even clearly fictional imagery can blur emotional lines for audiences scrolling quickly. The image itself may not be factual, but the reaction it creates is real. Attorney Alex Spiro emphasized publicly that the recording speaks for itself. On the opposing side, attorney Tony Busby, known for representing clients in cases involving Diddy, disputed elements of the broader conversation. What's unfolding isn't just a dispute between individuals. It's a strategic battle over credibility. Defamation lawsuits serve two purposes: recover financial damages, signal seriousness, but they also extend the lifespan of a story. Court filings become public documents. Public documents become headlines. Headlines become social content. The cycle feeds itself. The corporate pressure layer.
Attention to the music to understand that there's a problem getting ready to take place.
Are you and Game, you think your relationship is repairable?
I don't know what really caused it, Big. So, I'm not.
Jay-Z's partnership with the National Football League, including influence over the Super Bowl halftime show, represents one of hip-hop's most visible integrations into institutional power. There has been no confirmed change to that relationship. But in corporate ecosystems, perception risk matters as much as confirmed wrongdoing. Major brands conduct quiet evaluations long before making public decisions. And when speculation intersects with billion-dollar events, scrutiny increases. This doesn't mean consequences are imminent. It means contingency plans exist. The algorithm-era problem story didn't stay
but I've liked Jay-Z a great deal. I've never liked, like there are people who do things because they know they can, and it had that bully mentality. There are people that do things that know they can. And here's the thing, it isn't whether you believe that Diddy did it or not, it's the silence from the people who work with him.
Confined to one allegation, it expanded. Online commentators began connecting dots to past industry relationships and even newly unsealed documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Importantly, there are no criminal findings or formal accusations linking Jay-Z to wrongdoing in that context. But digital ecosystems reward association over nuance. In previous decades, a dismissed claim would fade. Now, a dismissed claim becomes a content branch. Each branch spawns its own discussion thread, and threads rarely end. They archive. Silence, a strategy in high-profile controversies, who speaks and who doesn't, becomes part of the narrative. Beyoncé has not publicly addressed the matter. Neither has Solange. Strategic patience, refusal to legitimize rumors, or simply privacy. But online culture rarely interprets silence neutrally. It interprets it narratively. The bigger shift for years, power in entertainment flowed vertically. Artist, publicist, media outlet, audience. Now it flows horizontally. Post, reaction, remix, algorithm, audience. That shift changes everything.
What's the first sucker move that he pulled in your opinion?
Wow, I got a string of them, but look at me in my face, right? During my trial, look at me in my face telling me, yo, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. And I never see him again.
Reputation used to be shaped by press conferences and magazine covers. Now it's shaped by live streams, AI imagery, and comment sections. Even when allegations collapse, conversations continue. Because the internet doesn't ask, was this proven? It asks, is this interesting? What this really represents this may ultimately resolve as a defamation case settled or dismissed, a viral moment that fades, a corporate partnership that remains intact, or it could mark something larger, a transition point in how untouchable influence operates in a decentralized media environment. For decades, Jay-Z's brand has been built on strategic precision, rarely overreacting, rarely miscalculating.